So this is gonna be about the time that my bullies from school stole my phone. So we're gonna get into this. So basically, I was in, I think, 7th or 8th grade. I was in 8th grade. And I was in 8th grade. And I had just gotten my first phone. Like, literally everybody had a phone already, and I was barely getting my phone. And so I had taken my phone to school, and I had it in my back pocket, and I was sitting in the lunchroom at breakfast. And then I get up to go get something, and then I come back, and I'm constantly checking my phone in the back of me. And I notice that it's not there, so I'm freaking out. I go tell the office, I'm like, my phone is missing. And it doesn't, and I'm asking everybody around me, like, have you seen my phone? Like, super frantic. And the people that were next to me were, like, a group of kids that were, like, kind of popular, but they were, like, half of them were known to, like, bully me. And so I like go to the office, and I'm like, hey, this happened. They're like, oh, let's check the cameras. And one of the office ladies is like, why would you bring your phone to school? Like, super condescending. And she was like, my mom called and told them, like, what was going on. Like, because I also had called my mom, like, from the phone, the office phone. And she had heard and was like, why would you bring your phone to school? And my mom called them and was like, can you guys make sure, like, to try to look for my daughter's phone, like, some way, somehow. And that lady was like telling my mom, you shouldn't let her have her phone at school. You should let her have a flip phone or something. Like, being, like, super rude. And so I'm telling the office administrator, like, everything, and this lady, like, this office lady, she was, like, a secretary, and I was like, yeah, like, she wasn't anything, like, a principal or anything, and I was, like, basically telling the administrator, like, so what happened, and I was basically saying, like, in a way, like, I don't know if, like, I dropped it by accident, or, like, I'm pretty sure somebody took it, because I kept checking my phone, and I would have heard it drop. And she goes, you're telling 3 different stories here. I'm like, I'm not telling different stories. I'm just saying, like, there's a possibility of things that could have happened, and I don't know what happened. And she was like, yeah, you're telling 3 stories here. And I was like, this lady, the same lady who was like, oh, why would you bring your phone to school? And, like, the one who told my mom that I shouldn't be bringing my phone to school. And she was just being rude. And then, that happened. And then we look at the cameras, and it looks like people walk by me a couple times, but you can't really see if they're, like, digging in my pockets or anything like that. And then, this is the crazy part. So then I'm, like, a bad mood. I'm, like, having a horrible day the whole day. I want to, like, go back in time and hug myself, but I'm having a horrible day the whole day. And basically, I go to class, and I'm sitting in class, and I just break down. Like, I'm just crying. And this teacher and I were, like, really cool, or so I thought. But she goes up to me, and she's, like, basically, like, you need to get up and go to the counselor's office. And I'm, like, she's being very cold. She's, like, you need to get up and go to the counselor's office. And I'm, like, trying to explain to her, like, my mom spent so much money, trying to buy my new phone, and I feel like it's my fault. And she's like, she keeps saying, you need to go to the counselor's office. And I'm like, what the heck? So I stopped crying, and the kids behind me that are, like, bullies that used to bully me in that class are, like, laughing. Like, they think this is hilarious. I don't know, it just makes me so mad. Like, people and kids can be so mean sometimes. So then, constant, like, I'm trying to look for my phone. Like people are asking me, oh, like, oh, I heard you lost your phone. But, like, obviously the bullies that kids are, like, spreading. Okay, long story short, I'm gonna tell you who I'm, like, 99% sure did this. So I'm in lunchtime, and I go to the, it's kind of almost towards the end of the day. I go to the bathroom, and the bullies that were sitting next to me in the lunchroom and breakfast are there. And one of them goes, oh, I heard you lost your phone. I go, yeah, I'm really upset. And she's like, she's also, like, a bully. Like, she's bullied me before. And she's like, oh, okay, well, can you tell blank to come and, like, talk to me really fast? And I'm like, okay. So I go and tell her, like, the other bully, for some reason. And then, like, not even 2 minutes later, a kid comes up to me and goes, they found your phone in the bathroom. And I'm like, and, like, who do you think it is? Like, who do you think it is? Like, those 2 bully girls that were sitting next to me in the lunchroom and breakfast. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so happy. I'm, like, so happy. I don't think you guys understand how happy. But the SIM card is missing. I guess they didn't want to, like, get it traced. I don't know. But I go, and I'm just, like, and I didn't think I have, like, a lock on it. I don't remember, like a password on it, but basically I go and I'm like so happy, and I'm like and I tell the administrators are like, okay, there you go, you had your phone. I'm like, I wonder who did it, and they're like, we're not gonna try to find that out for you. And I'm like, okay, rude, but okay. Could have easily checked with like the cameras and stuff like that, but whatever. That's the end of that story, but it was really, really like crazy, like an act of like kids can be so mean and like adults can be so cold and like that type of thing. Like it just makes me so sad. So there was this time where I was bowling, and then I was like, I like was about to bowl and I slipped, and then these kids were like recording the whole time, and they were like, I think they spread it around the school, and they were talking about it. They're like, yeah, she fell, and then one of the kids was like, I posted it on YouTube, which I don't even know if like I got views or anything. I don't really know, or if they even did that. But they were like making fun of me, and like it was a whole thing. And there's another time where I fell on a girl accidentally, because I've always been like a chunky girl, and the girl was like super tiny, and we were running around, and I like bumped into her, and I like fell on her, and she was crying, and I felt so bad. But then the like PE teacher was like super rude and was like telling her, she was a rude person in general, but she was telling the girl like, why are you always falling? And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then I guess I could tell you guys like another little story. So basically I was in athletics like in 8th grade, and I sucked at it. Like I really sucked at like being an athlete. And I fell like at the park running around, because I used to run like after school too. And I used to go running like at the park or on my treadmill with or I would go to the park with my grandma to run. And I was running, and I fell, and I literally busted my knee open. And I went the next day, and I basically told him like I had an excuse to like to not go running, because I was like, it really hurt to like walk, and like it was like any movement I did, like it would like bleed. Like it was really bad. I should have gotten stitches. And I went to the nurse's station to get that excuse. And then I'm like waiting in like I'm waiting in a like PE class, and that teacher who's really rude, who told that girl, oh, why are you always falling? She like, what, I was talking to somebody in that class, and they were like asking me like, oh, what happened? And I was like, oh, this happened. And she goes up to me, she tells me something along the lines of like, oh, if you want sympathy from people, that's not how it works in life, or something like that. Like she was being rude, and she was like, you shouldn't be looking for sympathy, or you shouldn't be she's something along the lines like, oh, you shouldn't be looking for sympathy. I don't know, middle school was kind of crazy for me. I mean, yeah. I hope you guys liked this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.